Welcome to Ask Us Marketing. I'm Callie Fedosenko of Callie Collective, and I'm your host today. Callie Collective is a digital marketing agency serving advisors using data-driven digital marketing to grow your audience through advertising, content, and websites. This episode today is brought to you by the Financial Planning Association, otherwise known as the FPA. And if you didn't know, they have a great conference coming up in September in Columbus, Ohio, where you can meet me in person. So make sure you sign up for that. You can scan this QR code to learn more. How would you like to sign 13 new clients for a total of 12 million net new assets from locals finding your Google reviews? I mean, it kind of sounds too good to be true. Then you're in for a treat because we're talking with Tim Goodwin of Goodwin Investments and Kitsch's Marketing Summit speaker about he did just that. He grew his business with 13 new clients over 12 months from nothing but Google reviews. And he told me earlier, 9 clients just this year. So are you ready to learn more? Then let's meet Tim. Tim, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. Good Father's Day. I talked to my dad who's in the Philippines.
Oh, wow. What's the time change there from
Oh
where
my
you are?
gosh. It's like 13-hour difference. So it's like
Wow.
I called him at 7 p.m. and it was 8 a.m. for him.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
a little crazy.
Yeah, I got to be with my dad in person, so that's pretty awesome. We went to Putt Shack. We had a blast. It was super fun.
Yeah. And you're a dad yourself too, right?
Yeah, 3 beautiful daughters, Kanan, Shiloh, and Eden. So they're 15, 13, and 11. Just about to have my first teenage driver in the
Oh,
house.
geez. Good luck.
hmm Yeah, I'm gonna need it. Yeah, she's doing great so far with her learner's permit. So fingers
Oh.
crossed. Stay safe.
On the other hand, maybe she can drive you around now. A little
Yes.
payback.
Yeah, I can crush some email next to her and that kind of thing. So what
Yep.
I actually really do enjoy is that since she's driving, she can't get on the phone or look out the window or daydream. So she just talks to me. So that's kind of pretty
Mm.
cool. Like
Aw.
get your teenage daughter to actually talk to you. She'll drive. She just starts asking me questions like, this is great.
That's so sweet. Let's talk about Google. So, as I said in the intro, you've like grown tremendously just through Google reviews in the last year and a half. When did you start implementing Google reviews?
Yeah, so it's probably been close to like 6 or 7 years now.
Okay.
As far as just like claiming your Google profile and providing some up to date pictures and good information there,
Mhm.
and then clients started leaving us reviews on Google, and obviously we continue to update our website and work on good SEO value there. But we continue to hear that when folks find us online, they give us a chance because of the website and the Google
Mm.
reviews.
Mm-hmm. Um, okay, you mentioned 6 to 7 years, and you've been in business since 2004. Can you give us an idea of how the Google reviews changed your business growth? Did you see more clients coming in, or was it more like you spent less time getting new clients?
Yeah, great question. Definitely like increase the number of clients coming in, right? Because we're already getting client referrals. We have other lead systems,
Mhm.
that we can increase or turn off or turn on. So obviously, anytime you're turning, it's kind of like that. It's like a new lead system,
Yeah.
lead source. But it starts small and then it grows, right? We've been
Mhm.
doing this for 6, 7 years, something like that.
Mhm.
Really being strong on the Google reviews, strong on the website, and so that's increased over time. We did kind of like chop the legs out from underneath the Google leads. In March of last year, we tripled our minimum from 100,000 to 300,000.
Mhm.
So before last year, we were actually signing even more clients through that just found us on Google. When I say like a
Yeah.
Google lead, they just found us searching, they read
Right.
reviews. Um, so a couple of those were, a good handful of those were pretty small clients for
Mm.
us. So, but still last year, like you mentioned, and in 2023, we signed 13 that didn't know any clients, didn't know any staff, just found us on Google. 13 clients brought in $12 million. So That was a
That's
great, that was in addition to the growth we already had. So it's definitely increased the growth.
right. That's incredible. Have you found, because this is something that I've found with my own experience, is that when a prospect finds me on Google, they're more of a hot prospect. Like they're ready to move forward quicker than somebody else.
That's absolutely true. That sense of urgency is so important, right?
Hmm.
We used to have a lead source, and they would verify the lead before they got it. It might take a day or two before they got it to us, and so like that sense of urgency just wasn't there
Mm-hmm.
with that particular lead source, and we had a harder time converting that. So
Hmm.
what's neat about a lot of the Google leads is that they've already done a lot of research. Like
Yeah.
they've already been on my competitors' websites. They've already read a lot of reviews. A lot of them have read all of our bios on our website, right? They go to your homepage, and then you're
Mm-hmm.
about us, and then it's how do they want to, how can they work with us? How to work with us, right?
Right.
So a lot of times I feel like they've done the due diligence on their own. They've probably already narrowed it down
Yeah.
to you, and they're just making sure that like you're legit and that you are what the website said you were
Mhm.
or what the Google reviewer said you were.
Right. All right, so reviews, what was your strategy? Because okay, it's one thing to update your Google profile. That's all in your control. But
Right.
reviews is a little bit out of your control. How did you get
Definitely.
reviews in? Did you have like an outreach strategy?
Yeah. Begged and borrowed. No, I'm just kidding. We, you know, one key is to ask for a review and not a rating.
Mm,
Okay, so don't just say, "Will you rate me?" Right?
mm,
We realize if we just ask for a rating, they would just leave us stars and not explain why.
yeah.
So we started asking for, would you mind leaving us a review? And this is exactly what we
Mm,
say of how we made you feel.
mm.
You know,
Ooh, I like that.
yeah, that's it. It's that simple because they're like, oh, I'll leave you a review. And like, they can't talk about performance. Like, that's an
Right.
SEC no no. We actually had a reviewer mention our performance recently,
Yeah.
and we had to ask them to update it and remove that language.
Mm,
Even though that was a good part of the experience for us, it all depends on timing and
right.
the strategy and everything, right? Their fees. So
Hmm.
we didn't want to mislead anybody. So there, you've got a close relationship with these clients. It's an ongoing service. So hopefully they would adjust a review if your compliance felt like that was out of line. We also don't want to cherry pick who we ask. We want to be able to prove to compliance or to an SEC auditor that we've asked everyone. So we occasionally will ask in our email
Hmm.
insider, our newsletter.
Mm,
Actually, as a part of our Calendly, we use Calendly for
yeah.
calendaring. There's workflows, and so at the end of a client meeting, it will email them and say, like, "Hey, hope you
Right.
had a great. It was great to see you. Hope you had a great time. If you have any feedback, let me know. And if you could do us a huge favor, if you got extra time, would you mind leaving us a Google review of how we made you feel?"
Yeah.
And so that way they can see that we're not only sending that to a select number of clients that
Right.
quote unquote are happy, and we're not sending it to the unsatisfied, unhappy. We send it to everybody.
Right.
So, and we try to certify an annual, well, we certify an annual meeting with every client. And
Mhm.
so almost every client gets that email every year.
Mm.
So,
Okay,
and
I was
actually
gonna
we,
ask, are you
yeah,
asking multiple times to the same person?
we try not to ask over and over.
Yeah.
If some clients, like you would know, that are coming in more regularly than annually, they might get that email more than once.
Sure.
Um, and also, like, we just did this as part of compliance. We have 3 clients that don't have email addresses,
Mm.
and so we added them to a cardly campaign. We actually mail them a card that says, would you mind leaving us a Google review?
Mm.
Obviously that's just kind of a compliance thing. I
Yeah.
don't know how they're going to leave us a Google review without an email, but at least we can show the
That
auditor
you tried.
that we didn't even cherry pick our clients out of email addresses. We ask everybody when they meet with us. So
Right. So it sounds
so
like
it's
you
risky.
yeah, it sounds
It's
like you
risky.
really made it part of your process, like, okay, we meet and then we ask for a review. And
Yes.
then you're also putting it in your newsletter. Are you doing every newsletter or like
No.
quarterly?
And like, I don't think that works really a whole lot. Like, our
Mhm.
newsletter has a lot of other content
Yeah.
that we generate that I think they're a lot more interested in. And when you do that, like, broadcast ask, it's probably another thing for the auditor. Like, hey, all of our clients are on this email address, and we asked them there, and then they got the individual ask. Like, we're just trying
Yeah.
to show multiple effort to not cherry picking who we asked.
Right.
Uh, but one thing that we did before really the Google reviews became a thing was like sending our own client survey and just
Mm.
making sure
Mhm.
that we had a good reputation.
Mhm.
Maybe here in the office, our staff might like to think we're doing a great job, and a couple of clients pat us on the back. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
But you really need to make sure there's no bones in the closet. So,
Right.
sending out that opportunity for your clients to voice their satisfaction level, both good or bad, I
Mm.
think is helpful. So, we really wanted to make sure we had that good reputation and we had buttoned up systems and had a really good experience for clients. And then we're like,
Yeah.
okay, let's share that. And I'm really not worried about a bad review. It's a really great
Mm.
opportunity for the owner to reply to that review.
Mm.
Like you've seen that, right? Like you've
Mhm.
looked up a product or a service or wanted to eat somewhere and like you read the bad reviews first. But
Mhm.
I'm always looking for how did the owner reply to that? Because it's hard to make everybody happy. It's hard to
Yeah.
be, right, to have a
Right.
perfect score like that. It's really impressive to see, like, did they say I'm sorry? Did they improve their systems? Did they
Mhm.
empathize with that person? It will reveal a lot about that business and that
Yeah.
leader. So we have a pretty good record on Google right now for us, but we know that it's not always going to be 5-star reviews and
Right. Right.
good reviews.
What made you pick Google over any other platform?
Yeah. Yeah, good question. Yeah, I kind of feel like I've gone all in on Google, so I'm like, I hope they survive.
Yeah.
Maybe ChatGPT takes them out. I don't know. I doubt it. But um, when I realized that when I would ask in multiple places, they would only do one.
Yep.
You
Mhm.
know, so it is interesting. Like on mine, I'm like, hey, if you've got any extra time, would you leave it on Google? And if you got some extra time, would you go to Yelp uh, or Nextdoor? And Nextdoor
Yeah.
is hard because I don't have optics. It's all local, but
Mhm.
they'll like heart it or something.
Mhm.
Um, but Yelp is helpful. Yelp has um, a different system. They have to scrub it whether they will display that review. So if you
Mhm.
look at something in Yelp, you can go down like there's only like 6 or 7 of ours that are displayed, and you can see like at the bottom there's a link for the ones that aren't posted there, and then you can read all the ones that they didn't.
Oh, well,
Anyway,
that's nice.
I think Yelp still helps a lot with SEO.
Yeah.
I know for our search results, Yelp will show up organically, like top 10 advisors, pretty high up in search results. So
Hmm.
we really do like Yelp, but it just seems like clients like just ask me to do one thing and I'll do
Yeah.
that one thing. So, but I think with the power of Google being the number one search engine,
Mhm.
um, as far as building that strategy with our website, with the Google reviews, just lends itself really well. If most people are searching in Google, then we want to be screened at the top, which we are screened by Google. We
Mm.
want to do our sponsored ads because we do pay for pay per click kind of stuff. And
Okay.
then organic results, map results, and Yelp results are generally going to take over the top part of the page results.
Okay. So Google reviews is just one piece of this
That's
puzzle.
right.
It sounds like
Yeah.
SEO is almost like the priority, and the Google reviews feed that.
Yeah, but I have a real interesting take, and I've
Yeah.
gotten some criticism for this, but I actually think that Google reviews are the number one most important thing,
Awesome.
because
Okay.
you just think about it. You may
Yep.
have chosen to go to give some business your business, whether it was
Mhm.
transactional or ongoing, purely because you found them on Google Maps and you read the reviews. You may have never gone to their website.
Yeah.
And sometimes you go to find it, they don't have it. Not having the website, did that make you not choose them? No, because you got the social proof of the Google
Mm.
reviews. You've got pictures, you know their location. You're going to
Yeah.
go. So I do think the website is crucial and critical. We've got to have that. But in
Right.
my mind, the reviews are even more, because here's the thing:
Mm.
the website is what I say about me,
Yeah.
is what my
Yeah.
team says about me. Reviews are what other people say about me. And I think if
Mm.
I'm a potential client searching online, it's more important what other people say about that company's service and what that company says about them.
Right. And it's the benefit of it being a third party platform. Because, for instance, I'm going to use myself as an example. My testimonials are on my website. However, if you're a visitor, you don't know that they're real. Like, how do you know I didn't just make them up?
Yep.
So that's another benefit of Google reviews is like, this was another real person.
Yep.
And these are the
Independent, third party verified. Yeah. At the beginning of my website right now, it might change by the time somebody maybe watches this and looks, but there's a video of me and I explain like, hey, we've got our reviews on a moving carousel down here, but just go to Google directly. Just go
Mhm.
to Yelp directly. So you don't have to worry about it. For SEO, for compliance on our website, we do label whether they're a client or not, or
Yeah.
non client. And so
Mm.
the only maybe additional information there, but like the number of disclosures we have to write, it's so much on the website to have
Oh my
those.
gosh, yes.
Yeah, we say when we update it, we just pull the most recent 10. We don't cherry pick them. I
Yeah,
think you can use a system where it's random. We don't want to load them all because it makes the website a little slower to load.
right.
But every couple of months, we'll just update the last 10 and we'll just keep rotating them on the carousel.
Yeah. Did you have an SEO plan in place before you were doing Google reviews?
Yeah, we definitely did. About that time, we got, 6, 7 years ago, we got real serious about running blogs and
Mm,
creating a blog audience. And so that blog audience has grown over time. But for probably about 7 years, we have sent 2 blogs a month. So
mm.
I can't do one a day like Michael Kitces. Other people one a week. That's
Well, I
great.
mean, you've got a
We've
whole
got
team of people.
Yeah, we've got other content we're writing, but we
Yeah.
do send out at least 2 blogs a month, and that gets posted to the website, right? So Google sees that we're
Mhm,
creating new content
mhm,
consistently. I don't really
mhm.
think it's about like, oh, when was the last time you updated your website? Oh, it's been 2 years. I need to update it. Like, it's a constant thing. Google wants you constantly
Absolutely.
updating your website. So I'm sure we are making at least weekly changes to the website, additions
Mm,
to the website
mhm.
between content or changes to a bio or updates to a service page,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
yeah. I wanna take a little bit of time and look at your Google profile to show people. Because the first thing I noticed was like, "Oh my gosh, you
Ooh, just
actually."
past 180. We just
Yay!
got our 180th this weekend. That was cool. Yeah.
Your profile is actually filled out, which is kind of abnormal from what I
Right.
see.
I know, right? You're like, come on, guys, at least claim your Google listing, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
mean, it's
But
a
there are
huge thing.
compliance situations, and I'm an independent RIA. I might have some flex that some folks don't. They continue to update the marketing rule that
Yeah.
makes this a little bit easier and easier, but it used to be really hard to do this for a big
So,
firm.
let me pull this up. Let's see if I can manage all these windows I have open right now.
You can do
Um,
it.
so, for people who are watching, when I say it's like a filled out profile, I'm talking about one, they actually have claimed it. Two, you've got photos here of your team. So I already have like, oh, this is a real, you know, real people. I can see them. They look friendly. I can see you have reviews. I can go to your website from here, directions. I can call because you filled out your phone number, you put your hours, you put in a bio here. Oh, and you have questions and answers. I don't think I've seen
Hmm.
that before.
Yeah,
You're
got a couple of
posting.
those.
This is really great. I don't see people doing this. This also is really helpful with SEO. You can actually post to your Google profile. And they just added that you can link your other social media profiles. So this is new. And then this part is out of your control.
Yeah, those are some formidable foes right there, though. Some good advisors there on the left, Time Wise and Shepherd. They're great.
Yeah. Um, so this is what it looks like if you're doing a Google search. Now let's take a look at Google Maps because it's the same profile, but it looks slightly different. Let's make sure I show the right one here. Share. So again, those photos that are updated on the profile show at the top. All that information shows at the bottom. Like it's very
That's one of
robust.
the questions there. Are you a fiduciary? Yeah, answered.
So something else I noticed, you have now 180, 179 when I wrote this. You have 180 reviews on Google. And I didn't read all of them because that's a lot.
Oh
But,
gosh,
you
that's
know,
like don't put yourself through that.
I skimmed the first like 50 and they were all
Wow,
5 stars. And I noticed that you or someone on your team, and you mentioned this earlier, replied to every single review. I guess I have to go back to the other tab to show it.
that's correct. Yeah,
Um, right, hold on. Let's show that. So here.
yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
so
Response from the owner. Yeah,
every single one, there's a response there. How much time does that take? I mean, do you have a strategy in place of, okay, I get a review in and I go in and I don't know, you have like a timeline or something.
yeah. So great question. Got to be careful on these replies.
Hmm.
Okay. we've had some updated guidelines where you've got to be careful to not say anything they didn't say. Okay.
Mm.
So like scroll back up to the most recent one. It says JC. That's actually not, that's sort of by relevant. Click on newest,
Oh, okay. I
sort by
see.
newest.
Yep.
So the most recent one is JC. Okay. I know JC's name is not JC.
Mm.
He doesn't go
Mhm.
by JC. We know what his actual name is. He's a client. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he didn't say what his name was other than JC. So in our
Mm.
response from the owner, we were saying, "Hey, JC Chadwick." So don't say anything in your response. We can't say anything in our response that he
I
didn't say
see.
unless it's like the next one down, she said, "I really like your mission statement," but she didn't say the mission statement. So we just wrote
Mm.
it out in the response. That's
Mhm.
okay. We can talk
Okay.
about our values and our services, but we can't say,
Anything about
and
them.
this doesn't apply to Stella or Charles, like, "So glad you use us for college planning." Like, we can't say a service they use that they didn't
Yeah.
mention, but
Yeah.
we could say, "We love offering college planning to all of our clients." You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So there are some guidelines that my consultants have given me based on what we can say and not say. Obviously, nothing about performance, right? And
Right.
nothing that they didn't say. So we
Right.
might
No
reiterate what
personal
they say or
information.
talk about our values or our mission or the services we offer everyone, but we
Mhm.
can't. We'd love to be able to say how well we know our clients. Like a lot of advisors, we know our clients really, really well, but we
Yeah.
don't. We don't want to share any of that as a
Right.
response. So you got to be careful there. But you were talking about SEO, and I actually think the words, just my guess, you never know with Google algorithms and
Yeah.
spiders, right? I actually think the words in their review and potentially our words in our response from the owner are then eligible for SEO.
Hmm.
Like I think
Mhm.
us saying it,
Absolutely.
them saying it, and us saying it again probably help somebody searching. Google probably will point them more towards somebody that have got a lot of reviews and a lot of those words in their
Yeah.
reviews and hopefully even in their replies.
Yeah. Absolutely. And anytime you
So
can be linking back to your website,
yeah.
is gonna be helpful.
And as far as the system, as soon as you get a Google review, you get it. You can set up email notifications from Google,
Mm.
and so that's our trigger to know. Oh, we got one, and let's go leave a review. So it's either me or somebody on my marketing team, whoever gets there
Yeah.
first, leaves a review, and we try to help each other out. Sometimes we get a little behind, but we
Sure.
want every reviewer to see that hey, we've seen it. We appreciate you. You're seen, you're heard, and we're grateful for that. So we do have a system there with our response, and we have guidelines in place of what we
Mm.
can and can't say.
Do you have, like, those guidelines printed out for
Mhm.
everybody? Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. Mhm. You can say this, you can't say this. So it's something I
Um,
worked with my compliance consultants,
yeah.
ICA, Integrated Compliance Advisors. They helped me come up with like a set of guidelines for our responses.
Okay. And then my understanding is if you reply to one, you have to reply to all. Is that have you heard that? Like you have to reply to every review now on Google? Is that a thing?
If it is, I haven't heard of it. We're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, once you set precedents, you're going to feel really bad if you're the person that let that review and did a good response.
Mhm.
I guess I don't know whether they go back and look at it or not. But those things are just the value of those. It's just somebody takes the time to write a handwritten note to you and send it in the mail. I mean, it means so much.
Yeah.
They're taking the time, but it's only going to be read once by me,
Right.
and then
Right.
I'm either going to keep it or recycle it or whatever, right? So if they actually had put that in a Google review, thousands upon thousands of people could read that for decades, if not longer.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
now that may not want it to be public, and they may only wanted it to be read by me. But if they're really trying to help out, I like a Google review better than a client referral
Mm. Hmm.
because of the scale and the evergreenness of it.
Interesting. I love that. I'm gonna quote that.
Okay, all right.
So, do you have a strategy in place for a low rating? I mean, I didn't see that you have any, but if you ever get a low
Yeah,
rating.
yeah, we actually do, and you just got to be really careful. I talked to Michael Kitces. I got to be a guest on one of his podcasts about how when we moved that minimum up, we had initially grandfathered clients in, but now in order for advisors to have capacity and breathing room, we've started to convert some of our smallest clients
Mhm,
to, we call it the great graduation to self-management. So we
mhm,
offer hourly planning and we can still give securities advice. But the cost of, taking over, having discretion and access to somebody's assets to manage it and making sure we do all the compliance involved and how valuable a good CFP is in the world. There's a substantial cost there.
mm,
And we realized that we were above that. So all that to say, you got to be really careful when you're talking to an ongoing management client who you maybe have had for up to 20 years. As you mentioned, we're
Mhm.
20 years, just past 20 years old. You got to be really careful that that's still a good experience, so they don't go just blast you online.
Yeah.
So we've actually worked as a team and written a response through a Google document to a bad review. But it's really
Mm,
going to depend on that reviewer,
right.
and really trying to make sure that they feel like we empathize with them and understand with them.
Yeah.
But we have had that conversation, and we do have a plan in place.
Yeah. Now you mentioned your marketing team. Is this an internal or external team?
So both.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, so both. We use a company, phenomenal company. They work with a lot of advisors, called Evanced.
Mhm.
So like advanced, but just with the evance.net.
Mhm.
So they help us with our website, with our
Mm.
SEO. They run our ad campaigns with Google, with Bing, with social media.
Yeah.
Um, they helped us start our podcast. Like anything new that we want to
Mm.
do, like they're like, here's how you do it. And either
Mhm.
they can do it or we can do it. So they could write our content, they could do our social media posts, they could almost do our podcast for us. But there's
Yeah.
some things we've kept in house, like creating content. But as
Right.
far as like getting that content out there, they help us a ton. So I'm a huge fan of Evanced.
Yeah.
And then technically serve as the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer, and I
Sure.
have a marketing manager and a social media and event planning person. So we have two full timers,
Mm.
almost two full timers in the marketing team, and then I'm on that team as well.
Mhm.
And we
Mhm.
use Evanced. So
Okay. So is it internal or external who's responding to reviews? Or maybe it's a mix?
internal.
Okay.
No, that's either me or Tara, our marketing manager,
Got
that
it.
actually replies to the Google reviews.
Yeah. All right. So you've got in place asking for reviews. What do you do after you've asked? Is there any sort of follow-up, or is it just, after a meeting, they get a prompt?
Yeah, after meeting, they get a prompt. If the advisor has actually mentioned it verbally to them, a lot of times they'll notate it in the CRM, so we're not like
Mm,
verbally asking. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Like, not everybody's going to do that.
Yeah,
So we don't need to keep asking them. You know,
right.
so yeah.
What about after review? Besides responding online, do you follow up with an email or call or any sort of
Yeah, a
follow-up
lot of
after?
times the advisor will go express gratitude one way or another, a call, an email, a punk post. If you don't know about punk posts,
I
great way to
don't.
send thank you notes. Oh man, they're written by a graphic artist. They send them on your behalf. They're so cool.
Mm,
It's all like like cartoonish if you want it to be. So punk post, pretty great way to do a unique thank you note.
interesting. Punk post. I will definitely be looking that up.
Yeah, I use it just for my own personal cards too that I send family and friends.
Yeah. As we are coming up to our 30-minute mark, are there any other lasting comments or inspiration that you'd like to share with advisors watching?
Well, I'll start with caution before the
Mm,
inspiration. You got to really double check with your compliance to do this.
mhm,
My inspiration, though, is to fight for it
mm,
because I think the consumer deserves this. I
mm,
think if they're like most of us, they're using Google and these other sources, these independent third party places for social proof. Um, I'd much rather somebody take our client's word for it
yeah.
that we're a good experience, a potential good fit for them than mine.
Mm.
Okay, because I'm pretty biased about our company and our services, right? So I think what I would inspire is that it's worth it.
Mhm.
We just came from our staff meeting, and if we
Yeah.
got a new Google review, we share that. We read it out loud to the team,
Mm.
and it's something we celebrate, and it's very encouraging. It's very
Yeah.
encouraging for the team to hear that the blood, sweat, and tears that they put into their work that last week, like somebody saw that and was grateful for that. And for
Yeah.
us, even if they only name an advisor in the Google review because they met with this advisor,
Right.
the whole team, I make sure the whole team understands that like you guys make it all happen. So
Yeah.
you're really making the advisor look good. So this is something that we can all take as a gratitude and some
Yeah.
thankfulness.
Yeah. I love that. Team before I.
Yeah. And like what you celebrate, that's the
Mhm.
focus. Like
Yeah.
we celebrate it. We don't just have systems, but because we talk about it as a team and we have goals for the review, like we celebrate when we hit big numbers. Like
Mm.
obviously we're going to be celebrating when we hit 200. we'll do something fun as a team just to celebrate. So
Yeah.
it is something that we measure and it's something that we celebrate,
Mm.
and that gives it focus, that gives it energy, that gives it momentum.
Okay, you just used the word I have to know. Did you go through EOS?
We do run everything on EOS.
You knew you
Yeah,
could
we are
measure.
big EOS people. I got traction, and what the heck
Mhm.
is EOS right here, right? So there's your, if we, new hires got to read that. This
Yep.
looks great. I got all kinds of notes in here. But yep, we have our leadership team. We got our scorecard, our rocks, and it's one of our scores, our number of Google reviews and
Mm.
Yelp reviews that we
Oh,
look
that's
at weekly.
great. This was so informative. Thank you so much for sharing, not just with me, but with the world. I love when people
I
are
hope it helps.
open and willing to share their strategies with other advisors.
Yep.
So
There's,
really
there's a
appreciate
big
it.
sea out there. A lot of good advisors out there too. They just need to get connected with
Yeah.
those right fish. So this is one way that has helped us a lot, and I hope it helps a lot of people that are listening that give it a try.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tim.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye. All right. As I mentioned, I'm in a new thing here. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining us. If you are looking for nope, see, I've got tabs here. Everything's new on my end. All right. If you're looking for help with your content, you should check out our content done for you. Just scan this QR code. If you'd rather just be getting our newsletter, you can also get that at the QR code above my hand over there. It's really hard to do this. And then lastly, join us next Monday as we talk with Derek about conquering copywriting. Even if you're not doing the copywriting yourself, we're also going to be talking about how to work with a copywriter in the best possible way to make sure that what is getting produced sounds like it's coming from you and stays in your own voice. So make sure you join us next Monday. And